Why you all can't see me? What is going on? Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Tax Tea Thursday with Tish. Okay, y'all, I was having some technical difficulties in the beginning. I am using a different software to go live, so yeah, it was playing with my emotions, okay? Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. Tonight's subject is about, is your money your love language? Let's talk. Tap in, tap in, tap in. Thank you all for joining Tax Tea Thursdays with Tish. I do appreciate it. I have some notes off to the side because, baby, I'm gonna be talking tonight, okay? I do got my phone on the side to look at people joining as I continue to talk. Can y'all see my new merch? Yeah, that girl got the. Okay, I got a couple of these, so you'll be seeing them in the future. Hey, hey, hey. All right, guys. Thank you for joining and welcome to Tax Tea Thursday with Tish. Tonight's subject is about money being your love language. If you like money, drop a money bag in the chat. If you like money, drop a money bag in the chat. Again, I am Letitia Wilson, your tax advisor and financial strategist of LC Financial Solutions, where we specialize in helping high income individuals and business owners like yourself maximize your wealth and minimize your taxes. Come on in, come on in. We're talking about money talk, money talk. Money baby, money baby, money baby, right? It's February, so love your finances, romance your finances. If you all have seen my new little Valentine's Day flyer, this month I'm going to be talking about mainly romancing your finances all through the month of February. Again, we are talking about money being the love language and how you can talk to your partner about money, right? So we will be talking about something that affects every relationship, which is money. Okay, so we're going to specifically talk about how to talk about money with your partner without it being an argument, the best ways to handle joint accounts versus separate accounts, and budgeting strategies to keep the love and the money flowing, right? Because we want all the love and all the money. Tap in, tap in. If you are listening, go ahead and drop a money bag in the chat for me. Drop a money bag. Drop two money bags in the chat if you and your partner has ever had a disagreement about money. Go ahead and drop two money bags in the chat because y'all didn't went back and forth about money. Personally, I think in my relationship, we haven't had any arguments about money. I don't think so. I feel like money has really never been like an issue for us. Not trying to say like we got it like that, but I don't think money has ever been like I can ever recall us really arguing about money. Yeah, I don't ever think that with my husband and I, we've ever had a disagreement about money, but I know a lot of couples do, right? Money is such a sensitive topic to talk about, even if it's not with your partner. Just in general, I mean, even filing taxes here, or even with financial planning. Yes, you did do it right. Thank you. Even with financial planning, money is just a sensitive topic. Filing people taxes, knowing their finances is really a sensitive topic. And I think it's so sensitive because a lot of people don't talk about it. It's really taboo. What's in your pocketbook is in your pocketbook, and what is in my pocketbook is mine, right? As my grandmother used to say, pocketbook. Money is one of the top reasons that couples fight or even break up. Financial burdens and financial stress in a relationship can definitely cause tension, which can cause you, to break up with your partner, especially if they aren't bringing in the finances that they need. And if they aren't excelling in other places, right? Because if, everything happens for a reason. So if you and your spouse are working, everything is going great. One spouse might lose a job, and then now it's on the other spouse to, hold down the household. But a lot of times I do feel that relationships do struggle with that, because when you are lacking finances, you need to be excelling in everything else. So that means you need to be cooking, you need to be cleaning. There needs to be some type of balance there. In my opinion, this is just my opinion speaking from my own personal experience on how things go, or how to make it not how to make it not a touchy subject when it comes to money and finances. And of course, not to leave your partner when they broke, right? But of course, it doesn't have to be like that. Everyone has connections to money, right? Everyone has some type of emotional connection to money, whether that's a childhood money mindset on how spend or how you save, whether it's a cultural or personal belief impact for finances. Hey Sierra, thanks for joining. Yes, I agree. We definitely need balance. So for me personally, I would say my emotion to money is really connected to my childhood, and I feel like it's connected to my childhood a lot because I do feel like, of course, we didn't grow up, driving around in Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benz or nothing like that. But it were times that I felt that I went without certain things. My parents did the best that they could, but sometimes I did feel like, man, we struggling. Like I just knew when I became an adult that I would not struggle. And I do find that now with even running my own business, working my W-2 job as a human resource recruiter, I do feel like my connection to money is to always have it, right? I don't care if all my bills paid. I still feel like I need to make some money because I don't ever want to feel like I did when I was a child. And sometimes, I mean, that can be overwhelming in a relationship because I will just work through anything, right? I'll work through happiness, sadness, depression. I'm just going to work to get some money, right? Because I just feel like I never want to be where I felt I was when I was a child, when I didn't have control over my income, right? When I couldn't, help my parents out if need be or when they needed to be. So I just wanted to, say for me, emotional connection to money is my childhood. Sometimes for other people, it can be cultural beliefs. It can be, personal beliefs as well. So there are different types of money personalities, right? You got the saver, you got the spender, you got the investor, and the security seeker. For me personally, I'm a little bit of everything. I'm gonna save some money, I'm gonna spend, I'm gonna invest, and I'm gonna seek some opportunities because you never want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? So tonight we're gonna talk about the saver versus the spender. So when you are in a relationship and someone is a saver and someone is a spender, sometimes that can cause, the relationship not to be balanced, as a spender may feel control while the saver may feel, overwhelmed, because it's like, if I make the money, I want to be able to spend the money how I want to, right? But sometimes that is always not the case. We need to be able to plan for the future financially and always just have money, to live under your means. For me personally, I feel like a financial goal, which is what I learned from my aunt. She's on her tonight. Shout out to my aunt Tawana. Something that I learned from her was to live under your means, right? You don't want to live at your means. You don't want to live, above your means, because anything can happen that can change your financial situation. And then now you have to kind of rearrange your whole life, right? So for me personally, I like to live under my means. If you are a saver, which is good, everyone can be a saver. Again, like I mentioned before, I am a little bit of a saver, right? So some strengths with being a saver is that you're great at, financial planning. You like to avoid debt, and you like to prepare for the future, right? Because when you're saving, you are thinking about all of those things ahead. So that is a strength of being a saver. Some challenges now, because there is, some challenges that comes with, excuse me, being a saver as well, which can be, you can be over frugal. You don't have the penny pinch. Sometimes that can cause a strain in relationship too, when you saving so much that you want to avoid experiences or investments that could enhance your life. So that is a challenge, as being a saver. It's not always good on the up and up. And savers in the relationship, they may get frustrated if their partner spends impulsively, or if they make decisions or buy things without them knowing. So honestly, in a relationship, it's really up to you and your partner when it comes to how you want to spend and how you want to save. Me personally, I feel like with my husband, we don't really have like a conversation like, oh, you can't spend this and I can't spend that, or if you spend it, you have to let me know. Like, but when it does come to like big purchases, we do talk about big money purchases, right? So I feel like that's really the only thing when we talk about when it comes to really our finances. But we are getting better over time, because of course, the more you know, right? You live and you learn. Now, as I talked about the saver, now we do have some people out there in a relationship that are the spenders, which a strength in a spender could be, living in the moment, making life fun, and being a great provider. Because, of course, if you a spender, what you going to do? Spend a check and get it right back, right? So when you spend the money, you like, hey, YOLO, you only live once, you can't take it with you. I'm going to spend it and I'm going to get it right back. And a lot of people do live like that, which I mean, again, can be good and bad in some cases. I do feel that a challenge with being a spender is that you may struggle with saving, budgeting, and avoiding debt, or even accumulating debt. Because I do feel like in this day and age, I do know it's websites out there like if you go shopping and then you can pay for something like in full, right? Or the Affirm, or it's a couple other sites or a couple companies that's out there that'll say, oh, you just spent $200. Well, let's go ahead and break it down in full. You like, oh snap, now I only gotta pay, $50 for 4 weeks. I can do that. But then when you open that bank account, you got four $50 drafts coming out, and you like, dang, I didn't spend all of this money. Now you trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, right? Because you didn't had all these payment plans set up on this money that you spent. So with being a spender, the challenges can be making sure or you're not budgeting. So if you are a spender, you want to make sure that you are budgeting your money, and also avoiding debt, because in this day and age, you really never know what the future is going to be, so I would say save, 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 right? If you're a spender in your relationship, it may clash with a saver who wants to not necessarily control the expenses, but be more aware. So I do feel like even though it's a spender, you want to live your life, you want to do what you do, but also make sure that you put money to the side for those unexpected life that could happen. You can fall ill, you can lose a job, anything like that. And again, if you are on here and you are one of those spenders who likes to break your payments down in four, just make sure that you are aware of how many transactions that you are doing, because sometimes you can get carried away. I know somebody personally who loves to break their payments down in four, right? And then when paycheck time get here, it's like, oh snap, I have 4 to 5, different payments. So that was segment one, the spender versus the saver, right? So if you also in a relationship, and let me know if my connection is bad because I have to use my hotspot tonight too. For some reason, my Wi-Fi wasn't working, but anyway, also in a relationship, you have the investor versus the security seeker, right? So if you're an investor, the investor wants to take risk, right, to grow the money, to grow the wealth, while the security seeker, on the other hand, prefers some type of safety when it comes to investing, right? So if you are an investor, someone who likes to invest in real estate, stocks, whatever you like to invest in, right, to make you more money, a strength with an investor, again, builds long-term financial security and generational wealth. Because of course, if you are investing, you want that money to double up in the future. For an example, if you would invest into real estate is a get quick slow game. You cannot come up fast, right? With real estate, it's a get rich slow game. That is what real estate is. But sometimes you want to invest into a property, or invest into some stocks, or maybe invest into the stock market where you become a day trader, where you can invest a small amount of money and leave at the end of the day with a large amount of money, which is good as well. But the challenges that comes with being an investor is sometimes you can be too focused on that future where you neglecting the present enjoyment, right? So I know, again, it's really all about the money, right? So you are investing, you're trying to look forward to your future, but you don't want to miss your present trying to look ahead so far into the future. So when you are investing, just make sure you are making those conscious decisions, and take time to spend throughout your day or even with your family when it comes to being present. Not, you don't want to not do something because you invest in, right? You want to make sure you put all your eggs in different baskets. You don't want all your eggs in one basket. And if you are an investor in your relationship, you might find that a security seeker, is too risk adverse to where they're not really willing to take the risk with you, right? So then that can cause problems as well. So you have to find your happy medium. And if you are a security seeker where you like, what, I got this money coming in, and I just want to grow it, safely, right? So maybe get like a high yield savings account where you invest money into it monthly and then it builds interest slowly, but again, it builds, right? So if you are a security seeker, again, you want to provide stability, you want to avoid those financial bruises and ensure long term security. Because remember, if you are the investor, you're really taking risk because it's really a 50-50 chance. 50-50, you're going to double up, and 50-50, you're going to lose, right? So, as a security seeker, a challenge that you may have is you may be fearful, right, of taking risks and missing out on wealth building opportunities just because you don't want to take the risk. So you like, nah, I'm gonna keep my money over here. I'm good, right? That's just like with the what's that, Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency, right? When cryptocurrency first came out, and a lot of people wasn't buying into it, but it was some people that did buy into it, and then next thing you know, they hit, right? They was investors. They took that risk, and I mean, a lot of people are living wealthy off that cryptocurrency, right? So again, if you are a seeker or a security seeker, I should say, in a relationship, you may feel anxious if your partners like to take big financial risk. So you definitely want to talk to your partner about that. And just to do a recap, we talked about the spender versus the saver in a relationship, and investor versus the security seeker in a relationship. Me personally, I'm all of them. Okay, I'm trying to get it. I'm gonna live and I'm gonna spend and I'm gonna invest, and I'm gonna put a little money over to the side just so if this investment that I didn't work out. That's me. If you are on this live, drop in the chat what type of spender are you? Are you a saver? Are you an investor? A spender, or a security seeker, or a little bit of everything? Me personally, I'm a little bit of everything. I'm gonna make $1 out of 15 cents, baby, and I'm gonna stretch it a little here, a little here, and a little here, right? I love it for me personally, right? So the best approach when it comes to finances or talking about money in a relationship is being able to compromise, right? So it doesn't matter what type of spender that you are, you want to be able to have that open communication with your partner and be able to compromise, because even when you are in a relationship, that's really what it's all about. It's about compromising. It's not about my way or the highway, and if it don't go my way, then we arguing, or if it don't go your way, we arguing. No, it's about compromising, finding that happy medium, right, in the relationship when it comes to finances. Okay, Terry, yeah, I'm all the above too. Okay, Deja says she a spender but transition into a little bit of everything. Yes, when it comes to spending, for me personally, I'm a binge spender. I cannot spend for a long time. But when I swipe that card after not spending, I don't know what it is. It's just like, I gotta get this, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. So me personally, I'm working on not being a binge spender and being more aware of the money that I spend, right? Because at this point in my life, I am trying to break away from credit card spending, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I got a balance, I'll pay it off. It's not my money. I felt like, me personally, I had gotten too comfortable with spending that credit card money, right? Even though I'm paying it back. But now that I'm like, you know what? Let me pay these credit cards down. Let me get these zero balances. And now that I'm spending cash, right? I'm spending my actual money, right, on purchases. It makes me more self-conscious and more aware of the money I spend. Now I'm looking at my bank account more than I really ever did, now that I am spending my own cash and not spending a credit card, and leaving a balance or paying it off whenever I can. But like I was saying, in a relationship, when it comes to finances, you want to compromise, you want to talk about it, you want to be open, right? You want to understand each other's money mindset and setting goals, to create that financial harmony, right? It's the month of love. So we want to create harmony, we want to create peace. And that's just not in the relationship as being emotionally, spiritually, or physically, but also financially, because that is one big piece that, a lot of people miss being in a relationship. So again, common money challenges in a relationship can be, unequal income, right? Creating that power imbalance. Oh, I make more, you make less type of relationship. And I feel like nowadays, I mean, if you a woman in this chat, drop a 7, because at this point, women, baby, we the women with money, right? right? We are coming up in the world. Things have changed versus I feel like when I would use my grandparents as an example where my grandfather worked and my grandmother stayed home and took care of the kids, right? I feel like now in this day and age, women are making the money and the fathers are being stay-at-home dads, which I mean is awesome, honestly. Especially when you have that two-parent household and your kids actually have their father in the household full time. I just think that is a wonderful thing. I did grow up, of course, with my father, but he wasn't in the house with us in my entire life. So to have my daughters have that and watch that with them to where I can go and work and, my husband works, but he's with them most of the time, like chef kiss, right? But again, I feel like another thing in relationships is when the woman does make the more money, right? You don't want to feel like you are emasculating, right, your man, or even vice versa. If the man is making the most money and the woman is not, you don't want to make them feel less than, right? When you are in a relationship, you want some financial harmony. So when it comes to many challenges in a relationship, even if one person is making more money than the other, I always feel like it's not really all about money when you're in a relationship. One person could be making more. That just means the other person needs to pick up. You know what I'm saying? If your spouse might have lost their job, now you paying all the bills, that means your spouse needs to be picking up extra around the house. I feel like that can definitely cease a lot of conflict. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Arthur Mia Turner Whitley. Yes, Deja, that part, right? So another challenge in a relationship is if one partner is saving and the other partner is spending. Unless you all talked about that, where one person's income is for the bills and the other person's income is for the spending, fine. But you don't want to be in a relationship to where one partner feels like, okay, well, with all my money, I'm being responsible. But when it comes to your money, you playing, you're not taking it seriously. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one paying all the bills, making sure that everything is getting paid, but then when you get your check, now you out shopping or hanging out with your friends and spending your money on enjoyments while I have to spend my money on responsibilities, right? So if you are in that type of situation, again, this is the month of love, this is the month of harmony. Go ahead and talk about your finances with your partner when you're not at a level to where you're arguing, right? Because you don't want to make the money conversation an argument, right? Because you would just want to be able to have that open dialogue with them and just say, hey, let's just sit down and discuss our finances. Let's open up our bank accounts and see what you're spending on what, and you can see what I'm spending to have that transparency, right? Another challenge in relationship when it comes to finances is debt being brought into the relationship. This is really huge for, I feel like, people that are in a long-term relationship or even getting married. I've heard stories about people, marrying someone and then they got child support backlog, they got all type of credit card debt just because you didn't talk to your partner before, before you all went into this long-term relationship. You don't even know that this person got $20,000 worth of debt and y'all just moved in together. Now the creditor's calling your phone, his phone, all type of different numbers and area codes, right? And you like, hold on, you didn't tell me that you had $50,000 worth of debt and then now we married, right? So my debt is your debt. Or did you get a prenup? I don't know. That's your business. Okay, moving along. Another challenge in the relationship again is different financial goals, where versus one person may want luxury and the other person may want security. You have to find that balance, to again find that happy medium and to make sure both parties are okay and secure in the relationship. One of my commenters said one of the top reasons people get divorced is due to financial mismanagement. I agree. Financial mismanagement will take you through it, baby. I'm telling you, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no car. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And also, I feel like money is one of the reasons that people get divorced, but I also feel like it's the stress, right, that comes with it. Because typically, if you are in a relationship and you are that primary breadwinner, all the time. And it's like, okay, well, now your spouse may be in and out of jobs or maybe can't keep a job. It's always on you in a relationship, right? To make sure that your household is financially stable. And sometimes that can be worse. That's a worse drain than not having a job at all, when your partner can't keep a job or when the financial responsibility is all on you at all times in a relationship. That definitely can become, a struggle and cause people to break up. Next, we're going to move into my segment two, to where we're going to discuss how to talk about money with your partner, right? Because you don't want to wait until your partner spends $300 to $500 and you like, what you doing? Who told you? Y'all see that? Okay, sorry, sidetrack. But yeah, you don't want to wait until it's an argument, to talk about money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you all some tips for having money conversation without stress. Because remember, money is a sensitive topic for everybody, whether you're in a relationship, you're talking to it about your mama or whoever. You want to be able to choose the right time to bring up money, right, in your finances. Do not bring up money when you're already stressed out in a bad mood. You don't want to do that, because I feel like a lot of times once you get to arguing about money, a lot of times when you arguing, you listening to just respond and you're not listening to hear, right? So nobody gets nowhere. You high, I'm high, and the conversation just explodes. Instead, you should schedule a money date, maybe once a money date, DATE. So you want to schedule a money date once out the month or quarterly, however you all want to go into your finances, to talk about, the finances in a more relaxed setting, maybe over brunch, over coffee, over breakfast, set that money date up, right? You want to be able to talk, because I know a lot of times, a lot of people don't even talk about money in relationship. Only thing they're talking about is you got your half of the rent. Oh, okay. And then after that, what, the conversation is done, right? Yes, money date. Yes. Set a money date up with your partner again once a month, quarterly. I would at least say once, I would say quarterly, to start off with, because if you want to open up those bank statements, every 3 months, hey, print off your bank statement. Let's go through it. Let's see what we spend our money on. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it shouldn't be a problem unless you're trying to hide money. Then that's a whole different situation. And I'm not even going to get into that. But yes, money date, that is one way, to talk about money and your finances. Another tip to talk about money without being stressed is be open and honest about your finances. Financial, infidelity is real. Again, a lot of people may think it funny. Oh yeah, ordering Amazon packages and you're hiding it from your husband. You going shopping and keeping your clothes in the trunk. Hey, that's financial infidelity as well. Be upfront about your debt, the income and your spending habits, because once that is out in the open, you'll be able to have more financial clarity with your partner, and how you all can reach whatever goal it is that you all are trying to reach when it comes to your finances. And also, I feel like a good thing to ask your partner is, what does financial security mean to you? Some people, financial security may mean, hey, as long as I got a job and my job got a retirement and I can retire from my job, that's financial security to me. But you thinking like, okay, retire from your job. Like, no, financial security for me means investing, building generational wealth, and being able to retire with $3 million in my account. That's my personal goal. When I retire, at the working age of 65, hopefully maybe before, but when I retire at 65, because that's the normal retirement age, I want to have $3 million in my account, right? And I want to be able to have that 3 million to live off of until I pass away, right? And go on up to God. Let's see, I have a comment here. Before we got married, I told Pedro I had 120K and some change worth of student loan debt degree costs. I have a bachelor's and 2 masters. He was like, we'll figure it out. So grateful for Biden Harris taking care of all of it. Amen. He didn't get to me, baby. I don't know what it was. We got the same last name, the same maiden last name. And, I got skipped. So it ain't get to me, but I definitely agree. That student loan debt, I definitely have some. My husband was aware because I was actually going to school while we was dating. So we both have student loan debt that we are aware of, and I want to obtain some more student loan debt because I want to go back to school, right? Um, but yeah, Yeah, I didn't get my student loan forgave. So yep, it's still on my credit report now. I am of course up to date on those payments, but yeah, unfortunately it did not hit me, which is fine. Another money conversation that you can have without stress is use the we language, right? Instead of blaming, right? So you want to say, instead of saying like you always spend too much, you should try to say, okay, I love for us to work together on our financial goals. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's look at our bank account so we can see how much we've spent as a couple this month. You know what I'm saying? You want to dress it up, make it look nice. You know what I'm saying? Make it sound nice, because I know a lot of times in relationships, when you are being confronted by your partner, sometimes you can feel like it can be confrontational. So you are more on the defense side. You don't always want to say you want to say we. So it's like, okay, yeah, let's see what we did, right? Yes, so you are right. It does not, so student loan does not affect your credit as long as either you have a payment plan set up, or if you aren't able to pay, you still have to call them. Um to basically say like you can afford to pay, and they'll put you like on basically like a non-collectible. But if you don't call them, and get something set up, they can snatch your federal tax return as well for student loans. Another financial tip when it comes to money, having those money conversations without stress. Again, understanding each other's money mindset. Again, take a moment to ask your partner, how did your parents, handle money growing up? You know what I'm saying? This will also help you understand your each other's financial habits. Like I said at the beginning, everyone is emotionally tied to money in some type of way, whether it's your cultural, whether it's your childhood, depending on how you was raised. Everyone is connected to money somehow. So ask your partner those questions, in the beginning, or even if you haven't in the beginning. Honestly, me personally, me and my husband been together for over 10 years, and we've never really had like a money talk, because I just felt like it was understood that, okay, once the bills is paid, you do what you do with your money, I do what I do with my money, and if it's a big expense, then we'll talk about it, right? And then again, with your partner, sit down and create, sure, goals. Thank you. Thank you. You want to sit down and, yes, talk about that we language. Again, when you are talking about finances, just don't say like you. Say, hey, I think we've been spending a lot lately. Let's sit down and look at our finances together. So use those plural, nouns to make it sound better, right? You don't want to just say you and do, the blaming. And again, sit down with your partner and talk about those financial goals, your short term goals, your long term goals, so you all can get aligned. Because I do feel like if you're in a relationship with someone, your finances definitely need to be aligned. Your financial goals need to be aligned. The mindset honestly needs to be aligned as well, because if it's not aligned, it's definitely going to cause a lot of friction, right? And drop a 7 in the chat if you have regular money talks with your partner. If not, comment in the chat. What's stopping you from having those money talks with your partner? Honestly, like I said before, me and my husband really didn't have a lot of money talks, but now we definitely have those money talks together so we can align for our future. Again, when you're talking about money, again, it's a touchy subject, right? So you want to have those regular talks again with your partner, and again, like I said, have money dates. Go on dates where you talk about the money. You really don't even have to go nowhere. You can stay at home and create a date and make it fun. Again, let's see how we did this month. The next segment we are going to talk about is joint versus separate accounts. What is best? Now, this one is real touchy, right? When it comes to romance and on finances, what you gonna do? You're gonna keep a joint account. You're gonna keep your separate account. You keep your money over here. I keep my money over there, and that's it, right? So there are three main money management styles where you can do joint accounts only, you can do separate accounts only, or you can do hybrid, right? So I'm going to discuss the pros and cons with both. So if you go the joint account way, the pros of a joint account, again, transparency, easy budgeting, and shared responsibilities. You can see what I'm bringing in. I can see what you bringing in. We can see what each other is spending. You know what I'm saying? Basically have that open line of communication when you have that joint account, right? But a con, right? The downside of having joint accounts only can cause tension if each other have different spending habits, right? So if you have that saver in a relationship versus a spender, and you all have a joint account only, guess what that saver doing? Looking up, probably got a notification every time you spend something, right? So now they adding up everything that you buying, and then now that's gonna cause commotion in a relationship. So again, joint accounts only, whatever floats your boat, whatever works for your household, right? You can either have that transparency, but you also just want to make sure with that joint account that you all do have, that you all understand, okay, this joint mean this is our account, right? And I mean, honestly, I feel like only married couples do joint accounts. I really haven't heard of like long-term relationship people doing a joint account, but I could be wrong. But I've never heard of anyone doing it, right? Um, Another main money management style is separate account owners, right? So the pro of having those separate accounts is, independent, because of course it's yours, and you have fewer money fights. Or you know what I'm saying? When you managing your own money, you pay your half of the bills, I pay my half of the bills, and whatever is left, I can do as I please, and I don't have to hear someone else trying to tell me how to spend my money, right? But a downside to having separate accounts is sometimes in a relationship, it can make you feel like roommates instead of partners, right? Because at that point, it's like, okay, you pay your half, I pay my half, and then that's it, right? So it leaves that space to, again, have that roommate style relationship when it comes to finances. And honestly, everyone wants to be on one accord with the money coming in and the money coming out of the house, right? And the last minute money management style is a hybrid approach. You can have a mix of joint and separate accounts, to where maybe you all have a joint account to where that money goes in and is specifically for bills and maybe emergencies, right? And then you two have your separate account. That works for some couples as well. The pro for having the hybrid account, again, it allows the personal freedom while managing shared expenses. So that way, like, okay, cool. Every bill is being paid. You don't have to ask me every first of the month, is the rent gonna be paid by the fifth, right? It gives you that financial freedom because you can see the money there. Typically, how that works, again, each partner has their own individual account, and then you all have a shared account for bills, savings, and investments. Because, of course, families want to take trips. You want to go on, vacations, or maybe do a shopping spree, and investments. Have those accounts together, because also they can build quicker, especially if you take a savings account and you use it for a high yield savings account where that money can build up interest, like that can double your money up, right? But sometimes, again, a lot of people don't like the joint accounts. I worked for TD Ameritrade at one point when I was studying to be a stockbroker, and I had a client, or I should say, what is it? She's not a patient. I guess it is a client, right, of TD Ameritrade. She called and was like, "Yeah, I want the access to my husband's account because we getting a divorce, and I found out he had some secret accounts, so I'm trying to get his money out of there." And I'm like, "Ooh." I'm like, let me transfer you to my manager. I was new at the time. I really didn't know what to do. And she was like, I got the lawyer. She had the lawyer on the phone ready to fax over paperwork to say, let me see these accounts he was hiding, right? Because I mean, that does happen in relationships where people hire accounts, and it's like, dang, what you hiding money for? So I feel like that opens up a whole nother can of worms, right? If you find out your partner got a secret account, and maybe while y'all over here struggling, they got $5,000 saved up, right? And you didn't have to work two jobs. If you are on this live, which method do you use with your partner? Is it joint, separate, hybrid? Let me know in the comments. Okay, Mia said that they have a joint and individual accounts. Okay, nice, nice, nice. We have joint and individual accounts as well, but we really don't use the joint account that much. But we do have one, right? And the last segment that I'm going to talk about, thanks for hanging in here with me, y'all. I'm going on almost an hour. I usually try to keep these at 30 minutes. That's why I have my notes here on the side. But thanks for sticking with me. If you still in here, drop a money bag, money bag, money bag in the chat. Okay. So the last segment that we are going to talk about is budgeting strategies to keep love and the money flowing. That money, right? Because when you're in a relationship, you want to keep the money flowing, you want to keep the love flowing, right? And as I discussed in some of my previous lives, you want to have these smart budgeting techniques, right? You may want to incorporate the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% goes to your needs, which is like the bills, groceries, rent. You might do 30% of wants, which is, date night, travel, fun, that's the play money. And then maybe 20% of savings, which can be used for investment or emergency funds. But as I mentioned before, me personally, I'm switching it to where I'm 30% will go to saving and investing, and then 20% will go to, fun. I do feel like now that I am being more conscious of the money that I spend, I try to find free things to do with my husband and my family, so that way you're not spending a lot of money, when you go out, because you can step outside and spend $100, right? Another smart budgeting technique, again, is the yours, mine's, our system. This works great if you and your partner have different spending habits. You want to separate, personal money, and also have that shared account for household expenses, just to have that clarity. And I feel like that clear communication on where the money is going. And like I said before, have those, date nights where you are specifically talking about money. Have a money date. You open up the bank accounts, the bank statements, and see how you all come together and how you all are spending, and see where you can save and cut to build for, your short-term goals, your long-term goals, or different type of investments, right? Another smart budgeting tip, again, is to automatically have savings and expenses. So you can set up your account to have, your bills auto pay. I know a lot of people say, oh, you grown if you have auto pay, right? I love a good auto pay. I don't really have to worry about my bills coming out, and I know the money is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So again, when it comes to saving and expenses, set up, an account to where, again, it's specifically for bills. Set up an account to where you have a savings account. Set up the investment account. Set up the family vacation account. Because one thing's for sure and two things for certain, you can't have one savings account and you trying to do four different things with that one money in that one savings account, right? You want to be able to divide up that money so you can actually see that goal. So you don't want to have one savings account and say, yeah, we're going to use that for emergency investments and fun and travel, right? Yes, I agree, Mia. Yes, auto pay is a time saver and lifesaver, right? It Having your bills on auto pay definitely can help you avoid any late fees, right? I know for me personally, definitely helped me avoid late fees. I do have all my bills on my calendar as well, but having some things on auto pay really, really, really is a lifesaver. Another smart budgeting technique is, budget for fun together. Make it something fun. Don't make it something dreadful, right? You want to make it fun. Money isn't just about paying bills. It's about, plan for fun funds, again, like I said, for trips, date night, and different experiences. So when you all are talking about finances and how the money is flowing, make it fun. Like, hey, let's play a game. I bet you I cannot spend no money this month, and again, make it fun. Because again, if you all want to be aligned in your relationship, and it comes, like I said, love and finances, we need both, right? We need that money. Money, 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 money. Hey, money. Some people, what? Got to have it. Hey. Okay, let me get back to the program. If you know that song, then you know, right? And another budgeting tip is, regular check-ins, right? Every month, sit down with your partner and have those money check-ins and review your progress. If you don't do every month, I'll say at least quarterly, right? You want to do it at least quarterly. Right? Money, 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 right? So you want to have that again, sit down so you all can have that financial clarity when it comes to that money on, as the young people say these days, that money on. Um, if you are still tuned in, who here actually follows a monthly budget? Drop a money bag in a chat. And if you don't budget, drop a smiley face in the chat. Let's see what's going on. It's 2025, right? We still at the top of the year. You still have time to make good money decisions, right? If you want to retire, I'm 32. I'm like, shoot, 65 coming up. I gotta get it. I gotta get this money. I gotta spend better. I gotta get out of debt, right? I don't want to be retired and I still got credit card debt and I still might have student loan debt, right? Because I'm trying to go back to school. And the school I want to go to is like 70,000 a year. My goodness, right? I don't know with Trump in administration. I don't know since he's getting trying to get rid of the Department of Education. I don't know if that's gonna drop the tuition rate, okay? Because I need it cut in half. And just to recap, some key points here again, we talked about why money is so emotional, how to communicate better, the best ways to handle accounts, and how to budget together without fights, right? We want a peaceful relationship. We want romance and finance, right? If you found this live tonight helpful, make sure that you hit that like button and share with your friends who can, use the news, right? That's what I'm here for every Thursday. Text Tea Thursdays with Tish, right? I'm here every Thursday. Again, like I said, as I progress throughout the year, we're going to go more in depth about budgeting. We're going to go more in depth about building wealth, minimize taxes. If you all may have some questions or maybe want to talk about a specific topic, you can definitely shoot me an inbox on LC Financial Solutions on Facebook. And let me know what topics that you all want to talk about. I'm definitely open to exploring other topics, things that people will be interested in. Again, it's 52 weeks in a year. Is this a leap year? But yeah, it's 52 weeks in a year. So I have more content to come, right? I literally have this already planned out for the year. But again, this month is about romancing your finances, right? If you need help getting your finances in order, whether that's budgeting, tax planning, tax preparation, even bookkeeping, if you're a business owner, click the link in my bio to go ahead and book a consultation with me. I should have had something pinned in here, but maybe I don't. I don't know. But again, you can always contact me at LC Financial Solutions, personal page Letitia Wilson. I have my link right there in my bio. You can inbox me for the link and we can go ahead and set up a consultation, for you to get your money in order. I feel like that is what 2025 is all about. Order of your finances, right? And again, don't forget, money is a tool, not an enemy, right? Money is your friend. The goal is to build wealth together and not fight over it, right? You don't want to be with your partner fighting over finances, right? Get in line with your partner. It's 2025. Get in line with your finances. Get in line with your health. Get in line with your mental. Hey, we getting older. Yes, baby, this tea popping hot. Okay, straight out the teapot, no microwave. Again, like I said, guys, money is a tool, it's not the enemy, right? Your goal should be able to build wealth together and not fight over it. Like I said, month of February is all about love. We are romancing our finances, right? We want to make those better conscious decisions about money to be in a better financial state, to get you that dream life that you want to live, right? That's what LC Financial Solution is about. That's why every time I come into this live, I'm talking about building wealth. How much money you want? I'm trying to help you get it, right? Help me get it, okay? Give me ideas on investing, right? That is what I am here for. So before I let you all go, tell me in the comments, what is one thing you'll change about how you handle money in your relationship? And if you are watching a replay, go ahead and put replay in here as well. But yeah, what is one thing after this whole segment, right, about finances and love? What is one thing that you will change about how you handle money in a relationship? I know me personally, again, being more conscious, letting these credit cards go. And honestly, I didn't think that letting a credit card go, right? Cutting it up, right? Letting it go. I didn't think it would be as hard as it is, but my goodness. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm letting it go, right? Because I'm really just trying to spend what I have, right? Again, a lot of people, again, do those affirm payments, and after paying things like that, baby, I had a credit card. Swipe, swipe, they'll get it back or they might not. Okay. Swipe. So for 2025, again, financial relationships for us is really talking about our finances more and getting aligned to make sure that our goals actually meet, in the middle, because we can always talk about our goals and we can talk about, what we want to do, but until you actually sit down with your partner and go to the drawing board and actually create, okay, what is your financial goals? What does finances mean to you? How are you connected with money? Right? So again, thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. Again, tonight's segment was, is money your love language? What is your love language? Okay. My love language is rent paid. If that rent paid, everything else I'm okay with. Okay, I'll make it happen. Right, I'm gonna stretch that out of 15 cents. As long as my rent paid, baby, I am good. That is my love language. Right. Terry said, I want to start having more open conversations about it instead of just paying bills. Exactly. I feel like we get so auto robotish, right? With just paying bills. Oh, is this bill paid? Is this bill paid? Like, as long as the bill's paid, there's no other conversation being had, right? But in order to, make that change and increase your wealth, those conversations definitely needs to be changed. And like I said, have a money date where you all are sitting down talking about, okay, let's open up our finances so we can see what we spend, right? Don't just put it off on one type, on one partner, right? And honestly, being open with yourself about what type of spender you are. Like we said, are you a saver? You a spender? You a risk taker? You an investor? You a little bit of all? Find out what your partner is. You might think your partner is a saver and he over here spending all the money, or she's spending the money, right? Now you like, hold on, what's going on, right? Man playing 2K and bought all VCs for my 2K players. But again, is money your love language, right? We talked about a lot tonight in this live. Again, thank you all for sticking with me within this hour. Actually, since I've been going live, this is the longest live that I've had. But I definitely got some engagers, so I'm definitely excited for you all to join me each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. Tax tea with Tish. I probably need to have me some tea so I can like sip it, because I got some tax tea stories coming up, right? So I'm just not going to always be informational and educational. I'm also going to make this fun as well with a couple people, couple tax stories I got. Yeah, people going to jail for fraud, people making fake returns. That's a lot, but we're not gonna get into it on this live. Again, thank you all for joining. Did y'all see the new merch? I don't know if y'all seen it or not. I got this in a couple colors, but yeah, thank you all for joining this Thursday evening text tea with Tish. I will see you all next Thursday. Again, if you all need to book a consultation, go ahead and hit me up at Letitia Wilson or go on Facebook and type in LC Financial Solutions. I'll definitely pop up. And you can go ahead and click on my page and go ahead and schedule an appointment. And remember, this month of February is about romancing your finances, right? We're all about romance and finance. Okay, so let's get it together. I will see you all next Thursday at 8 p.m. for some more romance and finance. Good night, everyone. Thank you all for joining.